Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Isabel and this is my library. For today's video, I bring you the Bronte Novels Tag. I'm so excited to bring you this tag today, inspired by the Bronte sisters. As an English major, the Bronte sisters were a big part of my coursework. The Bronte sisters wrote some of my very favorite books. And so I couldn't be happier to participate in this tag and share with you my answers today. I'd like to start by thanking Michelle from Literary Me for tagging me in this video. This is such a perfect tag for me. Thank you, Michelle, for thinking of me and encouraging me to do it. This tag was originally created by Melinda, and I will go ahead and tag her channel down below. So this tag is going to include various Bronte sisters works and ask us to come up with a book of our own that we'd like to use for that prompt. So I'll go ahead and read you the prompt and then share with you the book that I selected as my answer for that prompt. So prompt number 1, Agnes Gray, is choose a book about women in the workplace. And I struggled a little bit with this one when picking an answer of a book that dealt with women in the workplace. But I kind of went with this one because I was excited anyway to talk to you about it. And I chose They Never Learn by Lane Fargo. This is a dark academia type of thriller in which we are following a woman in power. And she is a college professor, and we do follow her in her work environment. And the book is basically her using her power in the workforce and her connections and all of that to seek revenge. And she seeks revenge for all the women in the world who have ever been wronged by a man. And that's pretty much what this one is about. Prompt number 2 is Jane Eyre, which you guys already know is one of my favorite books of all time. And it's asking us to choose a coming of age novel centered on a female character. So for this one, I picked The Awakening by Kate Chopin. And although our main character, Edna Pontellier, is not a child when we meet her, she does suffer a loss of innocence in her journey toward awakening. So I think it is a beautiful coming of age story, although it is not following a child protagonist. She still does go through a loss of innocence. And yeah, that's why I picked it for this one. Prompt number 3 is The Professor. And we have to choose a book by a favorite author that is not your favorite. So for this one, I picked an Alice Feeney. As you guys know, I am a fan of Alice Feeney's work, but this one is my least favorite out of all the Alice Feeneys that I've read, and it is Good, Bad Girl. And this is a thriller, and I found it to be very forgettable. It was a little bit confusing, like as I was reading it, and it kept jumping around a little bit too much for my liking. I found it to be a little bit predictable at times, and I guess its worst flaw is how forgettable it is. Prompt number 4, Shirley, is a book about female friendship, and this author knows how to write female friendships. I've mentioned his books before in my channel, and that author is Grady Hendrix, and the book that I picked is The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. And I picked this one because in true Grady Hendrix format, we see how women coming together to work together to vanquish evil is something that he does very well. And in this, we are following a group of women who belong to a book club. And when a mysterious stranger moves into their neighborhood and decides that he wants to join their book club, they are very quickly suspicious of him, and they come together to rid themselves of him, if you will. And yeah, that is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. Prompt number 5 is The Tenant of WILDFELL Hall, which is actually on my TBR, and it's a book that I'd love to get to read this year. And this one is a book about someone in a toxic relationship or recovering from a toxic relationship. So these are not my favorite types of books to read. So I struggled a little bit to find one, but then I remembered this book by an author that I normally really enjoy. But this book, the main reason I disliked it is because it really was all about a toxic relationship, a dysfunctional relationship through and through. And that is A Twisted Love Story by Samantha Downey. And she is normally an author that I absolutely love. I just found that this book was not really a thriller. It was mostly like a very warped romance. And in particular, the toxicity of their relationship was a turnoff for me with this one. But yeah, this is definitely about a toxic relationship. If that's something that you like, this one is all about that. Prompt number 6 is Villette, and it is a book about a character in a new land. And for this one, I went ahead and picked Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. And the reason I picked this one is, although yes, they are going into a new land at the beginning of this book, they are migrant farm hands, farm workers, and they do move from place to place seeking employment. I decided to pick it because land is like a big deal in this book. And in this book, we are following George and Lenny, who are friends, and they both share a dream of one day owning a piece of their own land, so that they don't have to continue going from land to land and working other people's lands. And they long to be able to fulfill this dream of theirs and to become independent and achieve these very lofty goals that they have about working their own land. And so that's the reason I picked it, because land is an important part of this. And if you haven't read this, this is such a beautifully tragic story, but so beautifully written and a beautiful friendship story. And then the last one, number 7, is Wuthering Heights. Not one of my favorites, believe it or not, but that's commentary for another video, another day. So number 7, Wuthering Heights, is a book where a house or other building plays a major role. And of course, I had to pick my favorite book for this one, because how can I not pick my favorite book to be a part of every single tag that I ever do? And so I have picked Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. Surprise, surprise. I picked this because Manderley, which is the castle where the majority of this takes place, is a huge part of this book. And besides everything I love about this book, which you guys have heard me gush about so many times, I love everything about Manderley. The way Manderley is described, the way the book is bookended by Manderley descriptions. So in case you have not read Rebecca and you're not familiar with the opening line of Rebecca is, "Last night I dreamt I went to Manderley again." And of course, the last line, I won't read you the whole thing of the book, right? Of course, I won't read you that whole part. One of the last lines of the book is, "The road to Manderley lay ahead." So Manderley is a really big part of this book, and so I decided to pick it. And yeah, I had to talk about Rebecca again, given the opportunity to do so. So this is pretty much it for the Bronte Novels tag. I absolutely loved it. I love that it is inspired by these wonderful writers of so many classic canonical works that I'm sure a lot of you have read and loved, just like I have. And yeah, those were the 7 prompts. I'll go ahead and tag a couple of people down below. But if you are watching this and you feel inspired to do this, please go ahead and do this tag and tag me in your video. I'd love to see it, see what you chose as some of your answers. Again, thank you, Michelle, for tagging me. If you haven't checked out Michelle's channel, Literary Me, go ahead and do that. She has some wonderful content. And that's pretty much it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Please like this video. Let's talk some more in the comments down below. What would you have picked for some of the answers? If you're not doing the tag, let me know some of the answers you would have picked. And yeah, that's pretty much all for me today. Thank you guys again, and I look forward to talking to you next time. Bye, guys.